Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Ba'Shem Abishai Ba'Shem Rakak Badash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders. Salutations unto all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so. To the hopeful elect that are scattered to the four corners of the earth, many that be like unto the speckled bird, to the Akwaf that are listening and learning. To you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago. And just pulled over, was on the road. Heavy thoughts on my mind about order and keeping order, because, you know, I kind of screwed something up that was really outside of the truth. But yet is it. Okay? Because I misread and half read not one message, but two. And, you know, and almost messed something up in the eyes of someone who's very important to me, you know, in my life. And, you know, and I'm constantly getting on brothers about order, keeping order, being in order, and, you know, and that whole sort of thing. And I was, you know, I was kind of out of order with that, because that shouldn't have got by me, you know. That shouldn't have happened. And as a matter of fact, I'm gonna start this lesson off with Revelation. This is Revelation 1 and 3, and it said, "Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for this time is at hand." All right. So readeth and understanding. All right. So when you read, you also have to have understanding. But first, it starts with reading. All right. And you have to read things directly and correctly. And I don't know what, you know, I do remember getting that message. I kind of remember when it came through, but I was in the midst of doing something else, and I kind of read through it and I answered it, you know, and acknowledged it. All right. And so when it, you know, so when the time came, you know, he questioned me like, you know, what's up? I sent you that message. And then I was like, you know, and I was like, maybe he didn't send me the message, or maybe he meant to. And then he sent me the message that he sent me, and then I read it thoroughly, and I felt like a dirtbag. You know, I was like, damn, had I read it, you know, I should have read it with more attention. All right, especially coming from him. It's just like when we get an order from, you know, from up top, from one of the elders or the apostles. You know, you got to do things thoroughly. Matter of fact, let's go to Colossians, book of Colossians. Let me take these damn glasses off. 3 and 22, and it says, "Servants, obey in all things your masters according to the flesh, not with eye service as men pleasers, but into singleness of heart, fearing power," fearing God. All right. So those who are appointed over you, you are to obey them, especially when they rule righteously and properly. Okay. That's what you're to do. All right. This is Hebrews 11 and 8. And it reads, is that the one I really wanted? Yeah. This is Hebrews 11 and 8, and it reads, "By faith Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should after receive for an inheritance, obeyed. And he went out, not knowing whither he went." All right. So you got to have that blind faith in righteousness. All right. But only in righteousness. And then obey. You have to obey righteousness and actually even and obey your faith. Believe. You know, believe that and obey that which you believe in. Okay? Give you another example. Lady that I know got into a car accident, and in her policy, it told her to call a specific carrier, and she didn't follow that policy. She just allowed the tow truck that was there to take it in the midst of the panic, you know, and the car ended up going somewhere. And then, you know, and there was an issue with the insurance, because the insurance had its own people that come and get, you know, to get the vehicle, and she ended up getting charged for the vehicle because it was a rental vehicle. But she ended up getting charged for the vehicle even though she didn't have the vehicle, because the vehicle was sitting on someone else's lot, which is why she was to use the assigned, you know. So she didn't obey, she didn't follow, she didn't read, you know. And I've made mistakes like that myself. So we just have to be careful in what we say and what we do. All right, because you could hurt someone or harm someone or cause a problem, not intentionally, but you still caused the problem anyway, just because you didn't obey an order or follow an order. And orders are important, and it's important for us to be in order. As a matter of fact, our very lives and salvation are dependent upon order and being in proper order. This is 1 Peter 4 and 17, and it reads, "For the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of power," at the house of God, man. And that's us. We're the house, the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And of course, the scattered that be like unto the speckled bird among the heathen, looking like the heathen, but are still our people. All right, it says, "For the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of power. And if it first begin at us, what shall be the end of them that obey not the gospel of power?" So it's going to be even worse for those who obey it not, man. I'm going to give you a couple examples. This is Ezekiel 9 and 6, and it reads, I'm going to start at verse 5. Now I'm going to start at verse 4, and it says, "And Yahweh said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the face of the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof." All right. So, you know, and only Israelite men are sighing and crying for the abominations, man. All right. And then verse 5, and it says, "And the others he said in mine hearing, Go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark." And that mark is not the word charagma. It's a different word. I can't remember it right now. But this word mark here means exempt from judgment, man. Darn, it's aggravating me that I can't remember that word. It says, "And began at my sanctuary, then they began at the ancient man which were before the house," man. So judgment is coming upon the whole world, and it's going to begin with Israel, man. That's why so many of you are dying in the streets, man. Okay? And mainly why? Because you obey not the gospel. You obey not the order, man. Order is very, very important. One last scripture. Let me check it first before I read that. Yeah, this is actually a good one. This is Isaiah 10 and 6, and it reads, "And I will send him against a hypocritical nation And against the people of my wrath will I give him a charge to take spoil and to take the prey and to tread them down like the mire of the streets. Okay? So the Lord is coming to bring judgment upon the whole world, and he's going to start with the house of Israel. All right? So follow orders. Call halal Yahweh Bashim Abashai Bashim Rakak Wadash Wa Abba Babal. Shalom.